I'm here with Paul Cartmel, founder of Atura and one of the smartest people I know. Atura is an automated chatbot for the financial services industry. I'm going to ask Paul everything about artificial intelligence and what it means for investors and consumers. Paul, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Elian. It's great to be here to talk about one of my true passions.
First things first, how do I know that you're really Paul Cartmel and not a robot programmed with artificial intelligence to sound like Paul Cartmel?
That's a good question. I think one of the areas in which AI is actually really working well is in facial recognition and image recognition. It's a narrowband focus of AI, and so, as an example, it's more accurate than humans in terms of determining the face to a particular identity, and even more accurate in terms of identifying, for example, twins. And it can do that at a much greater speed. So it's likely that if we had an AI engine which was doing facial recognition, voice recognition, using, for example, one of Microsoft's cognitive services, it'd be able to pick up my voice, could check that, the treble and the tone against a database, and it would be able to identify me much quicker.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, big picture.
Yeah.
What is artificial intelligence and how is it being used from a financial services context right now?
Okay. I think the first thing to distinguish is against kind of strong AI and narrow AI, or what they're sometimes called weak or applied AI. In terms of like strong AI and this idea of a consciousness and the ability to kind of understand things like humor and context kind of on a global scale, we miles off. In terms of little pieces of kind of narrow AI and the applicability to financial services, there's certain technologies that are really hitting a sweet spot. So, for example, we've got this RPA space, which stands for Robotic Process Automation, and that's really embedding itself inside financial services, taking care of kind of mundane jobs that you would see humans doing in the past. So sort of checking purchase order versus invoice versus transaction in bank, checking that for potential fraud potentially, and then also, just kind of vetting the transaction as it flows and then reconciling it later. Those sort of tasks being taken care of by RPA processes.
From an investor perspective, take us through the sort of user experience journey from the time that someone decides that they want to make an investment all the way through their experience, and how artificial intelligence is likely to impact that.
So, it obviously starts at the advice component. Traditionally you go to your financial advisor and you'd ask him, which investments you should take out. There's a bit of a complexity with that, in that, the commission he's going to make off you if you're only making a 50,000 Rand investment is almost not worth his time. And those are the kind of clients that they're trying to shift towards robotic advice. And I think that it can give great unbiased advice if you give it the right information. You give it the right inputs, it's going to give you great information. If you decide you want to take out a particular investment, you've got to be onboarded, okay? And that onboarding process is becoming a straight-through process. It should be almost immediate, and it's being facilitated by AI in some respects. So it's facial recognition, your signature recognition, for example, some fraud detection on you potentially in the background, and then onboarding that person. So, is this person a known money launderer, etc.? There's AI fraud detection in the background there. Once they are onboarded, once they've got their new investment, first of all, they're going to get some assistance along the way. So tax certificates, statements, balances, that kind of thing, that can be facilitated by this AI assistant. Addition, switching, withdrawals, those sorts of functions facilitated in a lot quicker way than you would have in the past anyway, and it's a lot lower cost.
That's what I was going to ask. So you're talking about a time and a cost saving potentially for your average investor.
So kind of the why of Atura for us is that we believe if we can reduce the operating costs within the asset managers, insurers, lenders, that insurance premiums come down, asset management fees can come down, lending interest rates can come down. We wholeheartedly believe that is entirely feasible, and that would happen through kind of this AI automation in the operational layer.
Do you have any thoughts in terms of, can AI actually make better investment decisions than a typical asset manager?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, we're seeing a couple of AI-driven asset managers. I think Michael Jordan's invested in one called Numerical. And it's something that I've been looking at for a while. Is sort of, you've got your classic index tracker, but what if you could kind of spit out the equities inside that portfolio that you're tracking that don't map to, for example, Steinhoff. You look at it, the AI engine says, well, there's something a little bit anomalous here, this is a bit too good to be true, and it should almost spit it out of the index. And so over time, your index should actually outperform just a sort of a top 50 or top 100 or S&P 500. You should be able to split certain entities out of that. And I think that the investor should do better over time. Another kind of interesting point is that AI should be analyzing kind of social media, looking at sentiment around a business and going, hang on, there's something not quite savory here. That might be the likes of Boeing, for example. And you go, whoa, people are really unhappy with this company, what's going on, and spit that out of your investment portfolio.
Sure.
So there's some really interesting stuff that's happening there.
Where do you think it's going?
We look at the chatbot space, and it was 2016 was like, this is going to change the world. Look at China, look at Tencent, Alipay, etc. And then 2017 was like, oh, a whole lot of really shit chatbot experiences. And then kind of what they call sort of the slope of enlightenment. And that's kind of where we are at the moment. It's on the slope of enlightenment where we start seeing what works and what doesn't work. And that's kind of where we are at the moment. And I think we bed down AI assistance, we bed down sort of algorithmic investments, we bed down fraud detection, and AI finds its way into accounting and accounting packages. So, for me, next 5 years is just bedding down technology that we know is there. And more companies adopting that technology.
What happens to the call center agents, advisors, etc., as they become replaced by artificial intelligence and things like chatbots?
Yeah, so Forrester had a report that they brought out recently on kind of the future of the call center assistant. And really what they're saying is sort of, yes, some jobs will be lost. Then there will be kind of a really empowered call center agent who utilizes the tools themselves. We've already seen this in one of our clients, where the call center agents actually use the bot and they know exactly how to use it as a knowledge management tool. So we'll see. The theory is that they'll be doing more meaningful jobs.
From an investment perspective, you're quite close to this world, the world of artificial intelligence. Where would you put your money as the next big thing in the world of artificial intelligence?
I would go very long on Amazon still, Google, Microsoft and the like. And then there's one or two kind of, smart speakers, I believe, are going to be in almost every household or every second household. At present, they're in every third household in the United States. Over 100 million Alexa devices sold, over 50 million Google Echo Dots sold. So, this is going to be a ubiquitous thing.
Paul,
yes.
If it is indeed Paul, thanks so much. It was amazing, very, very enlightening, incredible discussion.
Yeah, pleasure. Thanks for coming and chatting to me, man.